Look at them. Oh my God. Let me call them people. Wow.
I see it invested over you. Why would I want to invest in you?
Right.
So I'm gonna learn from your mistakes.
Right. That's smart.
I don't have to touch it. I saw what it done to you.
Right.
So I'm not no better than you. Said it done that to you. Why would I want a chance? Oh, I'm better than you. Ain't gonna do it to me.
Right.
Guess what? I'm not giving you a chance to do it because I'm not invested in you.
Right.
I don't pop nobody's pills. I don't know nothing about the pills. I don't know nothing about the heroin. I don't know nothing about the coke. All I know about is the fucking weed.
Right.
That I enjoy smoking kind. My breakfast, lunch, and
Okay.
all right, friend.
I was just sidetracked twice by two possums. A literal possum, and this is a possum here. So, I was coming on here to talk about, if you don't know, that's okay. Pride will keep you from learning and knowing. See the possum? That's why I got the fucking that conversation. So I talk about that later to connect this whole little spiritual situation I came across. And that's why I hit record in the middle of that conversation, because it was a lesson to be learned. But ignorance is not the same as being stupid or dumb, right? I have to go over the definitions of that, but when I think of ignorance, I think more of a fool. People are usually fooled because it's something that they don't know. It's something that they're not exposed to. They talk about that in the Bible story with Adam and Eve with the snake. And Adam and Eve were fooled by this little entity that they claim. But I don't want to go into Bible stories. So I heard George Bush Jr. say, because the way he said it best.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, don't let yourself be shamed into anything that you may have out of ignorance falling for. Not always, but for the most part, I see people talking about you shouldn't do this, and you're fooled, and you're letting the people play you stupid, and you're being dumb, and you. And the way that makes anybody feel, even a person who is a strong person, that will make you feel like your mind starts shifting into a negative spiral of shame. And what people don't understand, shame is not a path. Shame is hell. Shame is a destination. It says somewhere you got to shame. And even with me, I see it all. That doesn't mean I'm immune from being ashamed. That doesn't mean I understand everything I see. Just because you see doesn't mean you understand. Hi. No.
You look like Gail.
All right. Have a good one. All right. I don't know no girl, and I don't know no girl in our family. Now, if you had said anybody on my mama's side of the family, then I'd been like, I could understand it, because that's where these looks come from. But I don't know no girl. We ain't got no girl. Not in the immediates. I started talking about my own story and telling my own story from a personal perspective, and I can say these things. I can understand why when certain people, where they always trying to make you and badger you and make you out to be fucked up or something wrong with you, and somehow you're just totally condemned by these people. That's how it comes off. When people are constantly pointing their fingers, or even if they're not talking to you personally, that's the way it comes off. They're telling you, or they're saying, in a very harsh way, and a lot of people who call themselves telling the truth, there's two ways to tell the truth. And just because you're telling the truth, and truth is everywhere, I don't need you to tell me the truth. If you really want to do something, open somebody's mind up so they can receive the truth that they already see, so they can accept the truth they already see. You're not doing anything. You're not waking anybody up. You're not exposing anyone to the truth. But it's very condemning. And the way they come off with certain people, when they're, especially with people who are talking about relationship stuff, it's shaming. And they're intentionally using it as a mechanism to cast you into hell of shame so you could stay there. And then they present themselves as rescuers of you from that hell, the hell that, believe it or not, they put you in that hell. You just had a mishap. You just had going through some things in life. You're just going through some things in life. You're just going through life's activities. That's a part of living. Being fooled. Making mistakes. Mistakes is how we learn in this world, because we are ignorant. And we've been made to be ignorant. So the only way to come out of ignorance is to make mistakes. Because if you're walking in a room, a dark room, and on top of that dark room, you have blindfolds on, then yeah, you're going to bump into walls. If there's furniture in there, you're going to bump into furniture. That's going to happen. But when people try to shame you for these mistakes, which are typical, which, believe it or not, it should happen. You should make mistakes because you're attempting something that you're totally ignorant about. You're a fool. And how does one no longer become a fool? By going through the trials and tribulations and going through the process of learning. And through shame, most people stay in that hell of shame. They stay in their ignorance because they are in hell shame. Don't make yourself condemn yourself or make yourself feel so bad until you are stuck in the hell, aka shame. So anyway, there was a possum. He was on the curb in front of the door. He was balled up, and he was just laying there. He wasn't moving. But when I came upon him, at first it looked like he was dead. But then when I started moving towards him, which I was coming from behind him, and when I got really, like, I guess in front of him sort of way, he started like shaking and moving. He, she, or whatever. So, then, you know, at first it looked like he was dead. Peep game. At first it looked like he was dead. And then when he saw me, well, when I got in front of him, I can't say that he saw me. He started shaking, and then he started lifting his head up all helpless and stuff like that. So I called the animal control. So I'm talking to animal control, which is a man, which he's more logical. And I'm just like, oh, poor animal. And that man said, he was just nonchalant about it. I'm just getting all upset about the poor little animal. So he's like, don't worry about it. He said, and I was like, no, but is nobody gonna come get it? He's like, well, he's like, does it have any visible injuries? I said, no, but he's shaking and he look all weak and he lifting his head up. And the man said, it's a defense mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. And I bust out laughing. I said, oh, so that's what playing possum is. See, I've heard of the phrase playing possum, but I've never really encountered a real possum playing possum. But what I have encountered over the years are people playing possum. And I woke up this morning thinking about how I can set up my own defense mechanisms for people who play on my naivety. He was playing possum, and I didn't fall for him trying to be nice to me and talk to me. I'm not going to learn anything until I actually go through the battles and challenges of learning these people, finding my weaknesses in the situation. I was just going to continue to be a fool and naive to it. But I'm no longer naive to the possums.
That says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
He's still breathing. Or have a baby. I have a baby. What messages here?